Hello everyone. In this video lesson, you're going to see and learn about the past tenses, the past simple and the past continuous, the differences and the use of this. So let's look at here. The past tenses are also called narrated tenses because they are used, especially when we talk about when we tell stories. But let's see here the different uses of the past simple and the past continuous. The past simple expresses a past action that is now finished. So in this case, the action started and finished in the past. Started and finished in the past. So it has no result in the present. Example, I live in the country when I was a child. I live in the village, right, when I was a child. Already finished. This is my childhood. My family visited Bagan in 2019. 2019 is already the past. 2019 already finished. And this morning, I had a cup of tea and some bread for my breakfast. My breakfast is already done. So it started in the past, finished in the past, which is the past simple. Usually, it has time expressions like last year, last month, last week, or 5 years ago, example, 2 days ago, or maybe 5 weeks ago, or the exact time like in 2015, or in January 2020, or yesterday morning, for example, yesterday afternoon. So usually it has time expression like this. And how do you use the past continuous here? Let's see. I divide into 3 parts here. The past continuous expresses a past activity that has duration. So it must have some time, some duration of time. Then we can use the past continuous. You are studying your bachelor degree in 2017, weren't you? You were studying, probably you started studying from 2016 and finished in 2018 or 19, for example. But in 2017, you were studying. My neighbors were making a lot of noise last night. So you mean in this case that they were making noise from what time to what time? For a time, it might be an hour, it might be 30 minutes, but it has a time, it has a duration. The past continuous number 2 is that the activity began before the action expressed by the past simple. So when we have 2 actions, they happen at the same time, okay? They happen simultaneously, but one started first. The one that started first, we use with the past continuous, and the one that happened later, we use with the past simple form. She was cooking a meal when we arrived. Even before we arrived, she was already cooking, and we arrived there. What were you doing when the earthquake struck last night? You were doing something already. Maybe you're watching TV, you're studying, and the earthquake struck. They happened at the same time, but one started first. And number 3, the past continuous expresses an activity in progress before and probably after a time in the past. So the activity was in progress, was happening already. In this case example, when I woke up this morning, the sun was shining. Even before you woke up, the sun was shining. When you woke up, it was shining. After that, it was also shining. What were you doing this time last month? This time last month. So you were doing something. You started doing something before this time last month, and you were doing this time last month. Let's compare now the past simple and the past continuous. So the past simple expresses past action as simple facts. If we want to talk about something, for example, we want to talk about this happened in the past, okay, nothing more. So we just use the simple facts. And especially when we want to talk about something that happened one after another. Example, I woke up at 6 o'clock, took a bath at 6:30, had my breakfast at 7, we just use the past simple form because they happen one after another. We don't need the past continuous. I did my homework last night. I didn't watch TV. You just talk about this as a simple fact. I went to the Gong Center yesterday. Okay, just a simple fact. What about the past continuous? It gives past activities time and duration. It gives time and duration, and the activity can be interrupted. So, for example, interrupted means this case, no? What were you doing at 10 last night? At 10. Probably you start doing before 10. It was or in progress at 10, and after 10 also it was still going on. You say, I was using Facebook in bed. Probably you started using at 9:30, and then you finish using at 10:30 or 11, like that. I was practicing my pronunciation in the mirror when Susu arrived. I was practicing, okay, opening mouth here and there, and Susu arrived. But once she arrived, I was still practicing. So the first action here again is the continuous form. The one that interrupts is the past simple form. Okay, this is important. Okay, this is important, especially when we talk about the past tenses in narrative. When you tell stories, because when you tell stories, we should make it interesting, right? We cannot just give facts. So the past continuous is used to describe the scene. Let's say the scene, that means the background or the setting. We use that kind of thing. To make it more interesting, to make the readers engage, okay, in the reading. But the past simple tells the action. The past simple tells what happened exactly. These are here, example. It was a beautiful day. The sun was shining and the birds were singing. So we decided to go for a picnic. The background or the scene, a beautiful day. The sun was shining. The birds were singing. But what we really want to say is that the action decided. Okay, the ing form gave the background, the scene. The second one, it was an exciting experience for everyone on board when the Titanic was leaving Southampton. You're giving the background, the setting. She was on her maiden voyage. Maiden means the first time, okay? The first journey. At night, some passengers were enjoying their delicious meals. Some were dancing. The band was playing live music. Once suddenly the ship hit an iceberg. The background, passengers were enjoying. Some were dancing. The band was playing. But the action is the ship hit an iceberg. So with the background, in the background or scene, we use continuous form, but the action, past simple form. So in this case, which one is correct? What were you doing when you saw the accident? I was walking along the road, or I went to help them. Two sentences, which one's correct? Here also another sentence. What were some passengers doing when the ship hit an iceberg? They were drinking and eating, or they tried to save their lives. So which sentence is correct? I just paused about 15 seconds. Do you get it? Let's look at the first one. What were you doing when you saw the accident? You were doing something was already happening. So you say, I was walking along the road. I was walking along the road and I saw the accident. Something like that. What did you do when when you saw the accident? I want to help them. So if you can see here, the continuous happened before you saw the accident. The simple happened after the accident. probably as a result of the accident. The second one, what were some passengers doing when the ship hit an iceberg? They were doing already, that means they were drinking and eating. What did they do when the ship hit an iceberg? Because the ship hit an iceberg, they were worried. They tried to save their lives. Get it here? Get the difference? The continuous happened before the past simple. And if here, the past simple happened after. That means they happen one after another. So here is just a few exercises. I pause again for about 15 seconds. Get it? Number one, the answer is I saw a very good program on TV last night. Number two, while I was shopping this morning, I lost my money. I don't know how. Three, last week, the police stopped Alan in his car because he was driving too fast. Okay. Number four, how did you cut your finger? I was cooking and I dropped the knife. Number five, when I arrived at the party, everyone was having a good time. So this is the end of the lesson, the past simple and the past continuous. In the coming lesson, I'm going to explain the different uses of the past simple, the past continuous, and the past perfect. So if you think this is helpful, please give some comments and also like our page. Well, I'll see you again